I've created something that I need and now use, and I want to share it with you. It's an AI tool called Tailor-Your-Voice, inspired by the countless hours that I've spent generating, then editing AI text to make it sound like my own communication. So this tool's super simple. You just need to input your details and a bit of your own sample text. And what you get back is a personalized AI prompt that captures your grammar, vocab, tone, mood, sentence structure, context, and more. So it's pretty nifty, and there's so many use cases. So I'm going to show you how simple and effective this tool is so you can get started using it right away. So from my website, go to Single Use AI and tap Tailor Your Voice. Then you just need a name, which I'm sure you all have, and an email. So I've already put these in, and then your sample text. So here is the text that I've collected. It's a variety of emails that I've sent to friends, work colleagues, supervisors, and uni lecturers. So you might like to do the same, or you might find that there's one particular format of writing that you want personalized. So let's say it's a blog or a particular email that you send out daily, or a LinkedIn post. I'm sure you've got something in mind that you could use it for. So I think you get the picture. Whichever sample you choose, you then describe it here. And this is just as important as a sample text itself. It doesn't have to be elaborate. It just needs to capture the contextual information. So here I've got a variety of casual, semi-formal, and formal emails I've sent to good friends, acquaintances, work supervisors, and lecturers. So that's it. You just submit it and wait for your tailored prompt. So now we're up to the juicy part. Once that process is complete, you'll get an email and it'll have a link to a Google document. Just follow the link, then download the document, and you've got your prompt. It is very detailed, so it suits the latest models. So GPT-4 Omni and Claude, which they're both free, will behave really well with this prompt. So I'll just quickly go through this. So use a mix of formal and informal languages depending on the recipient and context for the email. And then it's got examples. For most of them, it's got examples of my own wording and text and sentence structure. Incorporate Australian slang or abbreviations such as Oz for Australia or subs for substitutes. Maintain a friendly, approachable tone throughout the emails using phrases like cheers, thanks heaps, and have a great day. Use a mix of short and long sentences to create a conversational and friendly tone. The benefits of this prompt are threefold. So it reduces at least 70% of time spent editing, and in other circumstances, it'll produce something great first time. I feel more comfortable using the content to communicate, and it's made me more aware of my own communication, which you'll see in the demonstrations how it does that. But what do you do with the document? Here are 2 demonstrations showing how to apply this productivity hack. The examples are with an email and an Instagram post. And in case you're wondering how much difference the hack actually makes to the written content, I also have demonstrated generic AI responses for each, so you can see exactly how much difference Tailor-Your-Voice actually makes. So my first request here is to please write a professional email to a lecturer about a timetable issue in my psych course. And to save time, I'll only read out the first paragraph. So we've got, Dear Professor, I hope this email finds you well. I'm writing to bring to your attention a scheduling conflict I've encountered with the timetable for our psychology course. And so then I asked, so this is the prompt, and this is where I'm trying to demonstrate to you how to use it. It's super simple. I did the exact same prompt from up here, from up above, but then I just said this: use my tone of voice guidelines very carefully to ensure that the email communicates in a way and context that I do. And then I just uploaded the prompts that you were provided with. So let's see how it worked. Hi, lecturer. Hope you're doing well. I'm writing because I've hit a bit of a snag with our psych course timetable. There's this clash with another mandatory class I have this semester, and I'm worried about how this will affect my ability to keep up with both. So right off the bat for me, like you can see that there's a lot of differences, but it's kept the same meaning. And this one is me to a T. I'll start with the one up top. Dear Professor, I wouldn't say that. Obviously I use hey or hi or sometimes g'day. I hope this email finds you well. Is not a term I'd use either. And it was able to pick up that that's the way, that's not the way that I speak. And this is pretty much exactly how I do speak. I would say that this little bit here is I wouldn't use that phrase. I would say I've got a bit of an issue with our site course timetable, and then I'd be happy with that. So let's actually have a look here and ask how it made its decisions so that we can kind of understand how it's reasoning. How did you infer the different responses above? Question mark. So I used the detailed tone of voice guidelines you provided to tailor the email. Here's how I applied each aspect. Mix of formal and informal language. I started with a friendly greeting, hi, and used contractions like I'm and I've to keep it informal while still maintaining a professional tone for the main content. And varied sentence structure. Active voice, like I, and personal touch and friendly sign-off. So they use cheers. The Australian slang, thanks heaps. And here's the thing that I wouldn't use is hit a bit of a snag. And a positive and friendly language. So yeah, that's a pretty... Alrighty, so I have this beautiful image here, which I absolutely love. And in this next one, I'm going to ask for a short form Instagram post for this AI generated image. Keep in mind that I didn't use any Instagram post descriptions or comments about waves in the sample text. So presumably that'll negatively impact the output. Let's see how it goes. Okay, so we've got witnessing nature's awe-inspiring majesty. In this AI-generated vision of the Arctic's unearthly beauty, luminous aurora borealis paint the night as restless seas sculpt the timeless shore below. A breathtaking fantasy landscape inviting dreams of adventure to the far ends of the earth. And let's quickly see, while I've got one more credit remaining, what my tone of voice prompt output would be. Here's the prompt I've used to elicit my own style. It goes, I've provided a copy of my own tone of voice to this message. It is important for me that the Instagram post sounds like me and how I communicate. Please analyze my document with the guidelines carefully and redo the Instagram description with my style in mind. I got into an argument earlier with this machine and, well, you'll be pleased to know that I sorted it all out. We're good now. But as with any argument, you learn a thing or two, and I discovered that Claude's tight safety features are hardwired to avoid copyright. So I had to really explain that the guidelines are about me, and I think that's fair and a great standard to hold with this technology. So there's a few things to keep in mind, and I'll just hit this go button. I'll read it out, and maybe you could tell me if you think this sounds more like me. Wow, just check out this sick AI generated pic. It's got the whole Arctic vibe going on with the northern lights doing their crazy dance in the sky. The waves are smashing against the rocky shore and the snow-capped mountains are just chilling in the back. It's like something straight out of a dream, makes me want to just drop everything and go on an epic adventure to the ends of the earth. That would be great. It's added, wow, just check out this sick AI generated pic. And I just thought that was uncanny because I like that. Just sounds like me, but also I was like, I'm sure I didn't use that word in the emails. Don't know how I know that, and then I checked, and I'll show you that a Word document, it doesn't have the word stick in it. So that was really intuitive. So here's the explanation as to why Claude did that. You often use informal language in your writing. It's got the whole Arctic vibe going on with the northern lights doing the crazy dance in the sky. So use the contraction, like it sounds like me. I wouldn't write it in an Instagram post, I don't think. Maybe I would. I guess they're the reasons why I feel more comfortable reading it. I think that is me to a T. I would edit it, and what I'd do is I'd just take out the parts that I don't like, or just the parts because I think it's too long. So I'd use that and I'd edit it. With the first one, I wouldn't use any of it. So that's kind of how tone of voice, or what's it called? Tailor-Your-Voice works. I'd love to hear what you think about it and, yeah, how you use it.